Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Step one and two, step one and two, one, two, three, and four. Get on the floor. Step one and two, the floor step of your life. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and four. Come on. I done been through hell, been through real hell. I done been through pain, so painful. I done been through hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. Working my way through to the good life, and it starts with shoes. Christian soul tight, way they make me move. Like I can do anything, anything. Life is a dance floor. Step one and two, step one and two. Come on, 1, 2, 3, hey, and four. What? Get your life on the floor. Step one and two. Come on. Step one and two. 1, 2, 3, and four. Come on. Get on the floor. Hug your life and let's do the blood walk. Walking through the dance floor of my life. You know that's right. Let's do the blood walk. Flexing as I pass my troubles by. Whoa. Let's do the blood walk. Walking through the dance floor of my
Hey,
life.
Leah.
Dance floor of my life. Let's do the blood walk. Flexing as I pass my troubles by. I done had it home, and then I lost it all. I done took some falls, then I stood tall. I done had a dream, turned to nightmare just to become a new dream. Working my way through to a new life, know just what to do. Walk in stride, making my own rules. See, I can do anything, 'cause life, it's a dance floor. Step one and two, step one and two, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get on the floor of your life. Step one and two, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get on the floor of your life, and let's go and let's do the blood walk. Dancing on the runway of my life. Oh, let's do the blood walk. Leaving all my troubles behind. Come on and let's do the blood walk. Walking through the dance floor of my life. Living on this life. Let's do the blood. Let's do the blood walk. And pass my troubles by. Pass them on by.
Salute, salute. Who we got in the building? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, Britt. Salute, Auntie Lee is in the building. Golden Aries. We got the last son of Krypton. Catcher. Interesting. Yvonne. Kenny Boston. By the way, guys, I just wanted to let you know I've kind of left the floodgates open. This is kind of like a social experiment, what I'm doing right now. And I'm doing it, classic Jaguar country style. You a Vibe? That's an interesting name. Saffron Skies. Wow. Yeah, that blood walk, baby. That true blood walk. Not all of that fashion foolishness, but really that blood, sweat, and tears, that sacrifice, that putting it all on the line. And strutting the victory. That blood walk. You know, my life isn't easy. I mean, it never really has been. So I'm not finna start complaining about it now. But truly, it has been a long fought journey on so many different levels, in so many different ways, so many different things. Y'all gonna have to forgive me today. I'm playing it kind of loose, and I'm not all jazzed up. I haven't really been feeling all that jazzy lately. Like, seriously. I haven't been. I haven't been feeling all that jazzy. I've just been feeling like, hey, kicking it. But no, I'm perplexed greatly. And I kind of like, I've been wanting your help, your opinion maybe. Well, I'm going to say this, what is this, simp barter? That's a terrible question to ask me. I didn't watch. I saw clips. God knows. With all the clips that get passed around this world, it's hard to miss anything. But did I actually watch? Ooh, you got yourself in trouble there, simp. What I saw was embarrassing. And I just want to say to the bass player that was sitting up on stage, who was so happy to be there, congratulations, Adam. The guy who was playing bass on stage, I was like his first real gig in the business. And he betrayed me for the business, specifically for the roots, in hopes to be able to work with the very person that he was up on stage working with. Now, I've seen him on stage with Duran Bernard and a few other people, but I know for him and his Masonic ties, I know that was a very proud moment for him to be on that stage with the devil, just playing for the devil. Congratulations, Adam Blackstone. You made it, kid. You made it into the devil's lap. Now all you have to do is start twerking. Like little Nas X did. Let's see how that gets there. Let's see where that gets you. I wouldn't know what they did to anybody that was there. Like, I know what I saw. I saw clips. But like I said, I haven't watched it. You want to know why? Because I don't want to be mesmerized. See, that's the thing. When you know what something is, flirting with it, playing with it, it's not a good look. It really isn't. It's just like when you see stuff like this, like, why play around with it? Why play around with it? Especially if you know what it means. Like, if you know what it means, why play around with it? You know, like, I've been curious about a great many things in my life. A great many things in my life. But there's just certain things I don't mess around with. I don't play with. You know, I know plenty of people that I've met in my life. I mean, for crying out loud, my own sister smoked crack. Sure did. Her and her baby's daddy, who used to be her husband, who raped me when I was a teenager, they both smoked crack. You know? But I'm telling you, just because they didn't smoke it every day, and I don't know if that was like some kind of flex, like, yeah, I can smoke crack and I can walk away or whatever. I don't know what that was. But I guess my point is just because somebody else does it, don't mean that you have to. Like, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Like, I'm not playing with that. That's in my opinion, it's nothing to play with. You know, when you know that something is dangerous and has the ability to claim your life, has the ability to just destroy you, why even bother? That's why I thought it was funny when people, you know, when they started putting up those like weirdo Instagram accounts. What was it, Jaguar's crack pipe or whatever the case may be. Like, I never touched this stuff. Never been in my system. You won't find it in my system. It's funny, as many times as I was forced to be hospitalized in 2023, you know, they took blood work. They did all kinds of things. If I was any kind of drug addict, that could have been confirmed. I mean, the way people were calling up to the hospitals, calling the medical boards, calling like all of the crazy stuff. You would think that there would be some confirmation of the lies that have been told about me. But no, you know, like, I don't know. When I see something, when people show me things, fucking spirit tunnels and shit. I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, but that's Clive Davis's little baby. I wonder how much longer she's going to last on the air now that he's dead, because there's not so many people that really care for her that much anyway. I mean, she's going to get some kind of acknowledgement because, you know, when you're loyal to the devil, I guess you get some kind of reward in some way. But honestly, it's not even for you. It's just to encourage other people to run off into that, you know? That's really what it's for. That's Papoose sitting behind his meal. You want to know who else does that symbol too like that? Just like that. You know, there's got to be something that pops up in people's heads, right? That lets people know that if you see people doing, like, especially people who aren't even like actively engaged with one another, like, where is Queen Latifah engaged with Rock Nation? Why would she be throwing that up if that was a Rock Nation symbol? Like, if that were for people to throw up because they bang with the Rock, then why is she throwing it up? Why does nobody ask these questions? Now, this symbol right here, this right here, that's the symbol that Amir Questlove Thompson chose for the community, the fan community website, OK Player. I used to get on stage in my early years with them and throw that symbol up. Can I get an OK Player? How clever. Are we not looking at the similarities? He named the company OK Player, and every artist that is attached to that falls under the allegiance of what that actually means. Isn't that something? How easy it is to get the masses. Do I ever regret doing it? Of course. Of course I regret doing it. I didn't know that's what it meant. I didn't know that every time I said OK Player and said, can I get an OK, and then got people to throw that hand symbol up with me, I didn't realize I was getting thousands upon thousands of people to give allegiance to Satan. Didn't realize that. I was just promoting, right? Our fan page. I was promoting our website, right? I was promoting our online presence. So when I saw them make that little child, that Blue Ivy child, do that, it broke my heart. Like, I don't think people get it. What does Queen Latifah have to do with Rock Nation? If this is really just all about Rock Nation, what Latifah got to do with it? At all. Signs associated with the Illuminati. The hand over the chest is another one. And the horn signs. Like, it's so funny because in Texas, they encourage people to do the horn hand symbol. Hold on a second. Let me pull that up. This one. The one that Cam Newton likes to do, the devil horns. They try to say it's for the bull, but that's not what it's for. See, they always trick you into believing that it's for one thing when it's actually for another. Like even Drake doing that thing with the Michael Jackson glove and putting up, you know, what do any of that see, that was supposed to be the okay player. See the as above, so below. Bad Bunny likes to do that one. Alicia Keys does that one a lot. Remember that was the hand symbol that Alicia Keys did at the Grammys when they gave her that Dr. Dre award. Remember? Put a one in the chat if y'all remember when Alicia Keys went up there and she was dressed like, you know, some Tibetan bride of sacrifice. Put a one in the chat if y'all remember. And she said to the Most High, and she made that hand symbol. They do it in your face all the time. And Michelle Lammy, she's another one. Hollywood witch. Considering how Michael Jackson died and the things that were happening around him and the things that he was looking to expose, I do not believe he was subscribing to it. And if at any point in time he had been encouraged to foster these practices, I'm telling you, they do it to all us artists. They get us in there. Like, it's so much easier to say, hey, this is the symbol of our special club, and this is what we do so that people know that it's you, and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Shame on you, Amir. But you're a Mason, right? Jigga Man's over top of you, though, so. I mean, that is why y'all put Adam Blackstone in my band, so he could start the gaslighting process in my live shows, to come in, to take over, to take control. That's why y'all put him there. And look at him, he was up there. I was so proud of him. I was so happy for him. You know, I don't like to see anyone subscribe to wanting to go to hell, but if hell is where you want to go, I should be happy for you that you want to get there. Right? I might not agree with the things that make you happy, but if you love it, then, you know, hell, if you like it, then I love it for you. If the devil is what you want, then who am I to stand in the way of your one true happiness? But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, the true living God. You know, like, it's just kind of wild. Like, this whole literally stand there on the stage talking about being drunk. And y'all thought that this was a move, huh? That's what you thought? She wasn't dancing hard either. Right in your face. Had the workers doing it too. Had the workers breaking tail. See, y'all like to watch and be mesmerized and pay no attention to what's actually happening right in front of your face. Y'all like going to their shows and hail Satan? That's the only thing that they don't say is hail Satan. What do you mean? The lady, yeah, they up there, cause they up there, hail Satan. Right in front of your face. This is all them people that was over there. Oh, look at that. You see that? Like she was just like, buy one Illuminati symbol, get the second one for free. She throwing up the pyramid. She throwing up the OK symbol. She throwing up all kinds of stuff. She over here got the little girl with her throwing up the horns. Come on, girl, worship the devil with me. You love him. Don't you love Satan? Come on, girl. Look at her. She's smiling hard as hell. Getting this girl. Hail Satan. Isn't it lovely? See, I can say I love the Lord. I can say I am a follower of his greatest gift to humanity, Yeshua. Some of y'all like to call him Jesus. I don't hail Zeus. I can talk about how much I love my God. See, and just because people say stuff like the Most High, and say stuff like I love God, you need to ask which God they talking about. You do. Because just because they saying that word don't mean that they talking about the same thing you talk. Look at it. I love Satan. She just won't say it. I love him. Wait a minute, look at her. Look at this. Look at right here. She just gets so excited. Look at her. She's just so excited. Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Satan, please sprinkle me with your hell jizz and let me dance all in it. I want to just let it ruminate all over me. Like, I bet you she, every time she gets a blessing from the devil, she just sits there and rubs it, you know. Straight sacrament, you know what I mean? Just bathing in demon juice. You know what demon juice will do? If you incubate it too long, it'll come out half cooked. I'm just saying. You know, what's it going to take to get people to... Why is her and Pap doing the same thing? What do you mean pressured by her parents? She was raised by her parents, that child. That little Ivy child. She was raised by her parents. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not just depart from it. In what world is this chick and this idiot doing the same symbol if this isn't a ritualistic thing? In what world? So yeah, no, I did not watch. Nope. But I did hear clips. And as much as I was fond of Rihanna to a certain extent, she needs to quit. Sounded terrible from what I heard. She just sounded terrible. I don't think the girl got the chops for it. I don't think Blue Ivy can sing. Lil Northy barely got it. Lil North, she barely got it. I wish that child would stop singing until she gets some singing lessons. I'm sure they're giving her singing lessons. I'm sure they're trying to push through as much because they have to try to make it seem like she inherited gifts from the woman that's supposed to be her mother. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's why they got over there playing that piano. Or at least trying to look like it. You want to know what's funny? Her posture's awfully bad for someone who plays piano. And they didn't flash with her on those keys like they do every other keyboard player. They, like, what's it going to take for y'all to see that everything that they do is like it's all make-believe? Like none of it's real. Y'all been sitting here and all these content creators that are talking about that shit. For what? It's all bullshit. You know, people keep talking about how great the show was and how great the show was and how great the show was. But you know what? He did the same thing that Cardi B did on her whole tour. Sounded, and brought out a bunch of people. Like, why didn't they just call it Jigga Man and Friends? It was a variety show. And the variety was predictable. You brought out Marshall. The Nas thing, what I heard, that was disappointing. But he's still scared, you know? And he should be. They gave that nigga a run for his money. And they got him in his position. They do. They got him in his position. Shut up. They got him in his position. I'm going to have my little situation set up real soon. I'm looking forward to it. Like, stuff like this. That shit turns me on, yeah, yeah. It's a microphone screen. Soon come. Soon come. No, but seriously though, like, it's pretty good light in the studio even without the lighting going. But no, seriously, yeah, of course, they're not going to talk about it. Kanye could sell out the moon. And everyone from all over the galaxy could come to watch him perform, and they're not going to talk about it. Kanye could sell out Wembley, and they won't talk about it. Kanye could sell out the ruins, and they won't talk about it. Kanye could sell out Antarctica, and they won't talk about it. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter is around for. That's her job. Dance, monkey. I mean, the one thing I really don't hear anybody talking about is how dope his flow is how much better he sounds, how much better he looks. Like, I don't hear anybody talking about his performance. I hear everyone talking about all of the performances. Like, what's it gonna take to get all of you people to realize that all of this stuff is like smoke and mirrors? I mean, she the one that was talking about eat the cake anime. She was so happy to say that bullshit. You know, I found it funny that just like mentioning me at the Roots picnic, him mentioning Colin Kaepernick, that was suspect as hell. And I just want to tell the Democratic National Party, it could be 80 million concerts with 1 billion people showing up. I doubt that it's going to change your odds. And trying to make him some kind of political figure would be a mistake. I see what you're doing. Hey, Kai. Welcome in. Now, and thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Please, y'all, don't be afraid to super chat. See, all of this stuff is smoke and mirrors. Something is missing. I watched a little clip. They are too into Baphomet, like you said, Jaguar. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it should be obvious. Like, it should be obvious. And for those who are not into Satanism, you should avoid anybody who appears to be in Satanism. You should avoid anything that speaks to Satanism. You should avoid it. Greatly avoid it. Oh yeah, like that guy. You should avoid it. You should avoid it. You should avoid it. It is only there to lead you. I used to do that same thing. Can I get an OK player? How clever. OK player for satanic symbol. The rock, that foolishness, right? And get thousands upon thousands of people to do it all at the same time, drawing that energy. And yet, people just can't wait to throw their money at it. People paying $3,000 to show up and not even be able to go. They're not even talking about, apparently there was some kind of bum rush. There was some kind of terrible ordeal that happened. Concert had to start 3 hours late because there was all kinds of violence and commotion out in front of it. Like, people spent all of that money so that they could be unsafe, kind of like how they were at her Cowboy Carter foolishness down in Atlanta when all those girls got trampled. at the transit station, right over there by where she was performing. Like, nobody's paying attention to any of this. Nothing. Nobody cares. Said it was a security. I bet it was a security breach, or maybe it was people protesting. How would you know? They control the media. You believe whatever they tell y'all. Don't matter if it's true or not. Like, for instance, I was researching some stuff. And, transcripts are really interesting. Once upon a time, how should I? You know what? How about we just try this? Oh, by the way, there's people always talking about my legal issues and always trying to make me out to be some kind of dangerous, wanted criminal. It's funny. None of that seems to exist. Or at least not in the capacity that people would try to make it out to want to seem to exist. Some people really hate when I got the ability to do stuff like this. But, needless to say, when they first started coming after me, I had no idea that it was going to turn into me being framed. The major real life gaslighting campaigns in my life, the people that they would bring into my life to lie about my life, the people that they would have and find a way to bring it in close proximity to me, to gaslight situations, to put me in a position. I didn't realize like how serious. And I also, I don't think I was really willing to believe that they were willing to go through all that trouble for me. Like, I don't even know if I know. How big my voice was. I don't even know. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Because I got the... Here we go. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this. Go on ahead now.
My skin, sensitive and irritated, so I choose Venus.
Hold on a second.
Monique Allen says she knows one thing's for sure. Her husband Gerald has a tough time keeping his affairs secret.
One was hot in the closet. The next one was barely out of high school. The other ones say they actually had sex in my van. Woo! I took him back 21 times, Your Honor.
21 times?
21 times.
Now that is a record.
But he says she treated him like a child.
She would tell me that I'm being disobedient to her. She thinks she runs everything.
and took from him what matters most.
This woman stole my manhood.
Wait a minute.
Who are we listening to? I'm reluctant to tell you. You know, her married name is Allen. But she has another last name too. You know, that's the dangerous thing about women getting married. Not all women get married because they want to be married or because they're really in love with the person that they're with. Sometimes it's just an easy way to switch up your identity. Because you get to go from taking your maiden name to taking your husband's name. And technically, you don't even have to legally get your name changed. If you're legally married and you have a marriage certificate, even if you haven't changed anything, you still get to use your husband's name. Unless there is some kind of legal record or a judgment in court that says you are legally not allowed to. You know, some people literally have to be barred from using somebody's name. You know, because then you just get to run off with that man's name. You get to scam and rob and steal and do all kinds of things. But no, these people are a mess. You know, she's got all kinds of stuff going on. This Monique person. All kinds of stuff.
I have to hear this.
Today, Monique Allen faces off with Gerald Allen in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding.
You know, I always wondered about these people that like to go on these court shows on television. Because even though, you know, these people are real judges and stuff like that, the stuff that they're doing is for entertainment. Like, they're doing it to entertain you. And the people who come here and air out these grievances, like, do you really want all of this stuff out here in the world? Like, who wants their divorce publicized for the world to see? And all the details surrounding their divorce. Like, who even finds family court and stuff like that interesting? I'm telling you, all the time that I spent in there, and my ex-husband, my first ex-husband, man, he loved to just drag people to court, just annoying, so annoying. But then again, when you're butt-broken buddy of a bunch of weirdo Masons who promise you if you can't keep certain people under heel, and they'll help you destroy them. Shit like that. Like, family court is probably some of the most, like, corrupt court in society.
You may be seated.
Trust me, I know.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Gerald Allen versus Monique Allen. Mrs. Allen, I'm advised that after 10 and a half years of marriage, you want a divorce. You've had a long-term marriage. Now, why do you want to end it? The reason being, Your Honor, is because one day I walked into my bedroom. My husband had left about 2 o'clock that evening.
And it's funny because she likes to go by a nickname, Irene.
And I saw that he left his cell phone. He never leaves his cell phone. He always takes his cell phone with him. Well, I picked up the cell phone, and on the cell phone had different women numbers on it. And how I know, because I called the numbers.
Hold on, Mr. Allen, let her finish.
I called the numbers and I talked to them, and one of the girls
Talked to all three?
I talked to four. It was four different women, Your Honor. But on the cell phone, I talked to the women. One was hiding in the closet at my apartment.
One was hiding in the closet.
We don't
She
even have
told
enough room in the
me.
closet.
Lord. He said they don't have enough room in the closet. In the closet? On some R. Kelly. Ooh, in the closet. In the closet. They say. In the closet. Had holes up in the closet. Like, this person sounds a mess. I mean, we could listen to a lot of that. But what I can tell you is that this Monique person, she has a lot of strange attachments to a lot of strange things. You know, she... Whoop. So, angel numbers, I must be doing something good. See, there's so much I could say in this moment, but I'm reluctant to tell you. What I can say is that voice belongs to that voice belongs to... Let's see if I can find it here. I should be able to find it here. That voice belongs to... Do I have a clean? Do I have a clean? Or do I only have that? Oh, I don't know. That voice belongs to this face down here in the bottom corner.
She actually told me the conversation and argument that me and my husband had. The other woman.
Wait.
We never
What
lived nowhere.
conversation that you and your husband had?
We
Salute
argued about
Akshay.
why. I was asking him why he was home at this time.
All right. Oh, and she was hiding in the closet
She was
then.
like, exactly.
All right.
That was just one of them, Your Honor. The next one that I talked to
that's a lie, Your Honor.
was
That's a lie.
barely out of high school, Your Honor.
Barely out of high school.
Barely out of high
That's a
school.
lie.
That's not all. The
That's
other
a
ones
lie.
say they actually had sex in my van,
I would
rode
never-
at my house that
That's a
I'm
lie.
building
That
now.
is a lie.
That I'm building now.
That is a lie, Your Honor.
That's
Sex
why
in the
I want
van
a
at the
divorce.
house that you're building?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Woo.
That's
That is
correct.
a lie. That is a
On
lie.
top of all that, within the 10 years, he promised me he would never have another woman. Well,
What do you mean never have another one? How many did he have?
The woman speaking, that was her and her ex-husband, Gerald Allen. When she was married to him, she used his name. Monique is her name. Sometimes she go by Irene. I got reason to believe that she has another name, though. I do have reason to believe.
Yes, is this the Divine 911 bail bonds? Hello? Is this the Divine 911 bail bonds? Hi, I'm calling because I had a couple of questions. I've been researching some bail bonds in your area, and I wanted to just get some more information. I ran into you on Facebook.
Okay, well, my mom's not here. This is her work phone, so I'll have her call you back in the morning.
Well, what's your mom's name? Because I didn't see a name on the...
Her name's Tatiana Nicholas.
Tatiana Nicholas?
Yeah.
Okay, so not Monique Talbert?
She's Miss Monique's assistant.
It's supposed to be a business. Bail bonds and financial services. Financial services that I heard Lil Birdie say was involved in some kind of PPP loan fraud. It's kind of cute. Divine 911 Financial Services. You know, since people are so worried about me and my so-called legal woes, while we're raising money for our legal defense fund. Because apparently it's necessary. I want to just look up something. What are the Divine Nine? The Divine Nine refers to the 9 prestigious, historically black Greek letter fraternities and sororities that make up the National Pan-Hellenic Council, the NPHC, established between 1906 and 1963. These organizations were founded to provide community leadership and a safe space for black students who were historically excluded from white Greek letter groups. The fraternities attached to the Divine Nine. A Phi A fraternity, Incorporated, founded in 1906 at Cornell University, the first intercollegiate black Greek letter fraternity. I used to date an A Phi. They something else. And then, of course, you have Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1911 at Indiana University. And then you have OMG, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1911 at Howard University. And then you have Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1914 at Howard University. And then you have Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1963 at Morgan State University. Now, the sororities under this Divine Nine are Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, AKAs Incorporated, founded in 1908 at Howard University, the first black Greek letter sorority. Then you have Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, the Deltas Incorporated, founded in 1913 at Howard University. You also have Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, founded in 1920 at Howard University. And then you have Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, founded in 1922 at Butler University. You know, once upon a time I wanted to be in a sorority. did. I wanted to be a Delta. I didn't want to be an AKA. AKAs were not real enough to me. Seemed a little on the phony side to me. The Delta seemed more rooted in. And then I was told what I was expected to do during Hell Week. I said, I'm good. I mean, there's not a lot of money being exchanged in most of these encounters, but the stuff that they were expecting sounded like straight up professional, prosty work that they wanted you to do. They expect you to do all kinds of things. They took pictures. They salute 25. Almost 25 years ago I was your age. Enjoy your life, but be safe. Choose God first. Man, I am trying to tell you, when I started realizing what they were doing, like this stuff, there's no God involved with what they do. And then I started realizing that these are the shapings, the beginnings of secret society. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what or who the Boule is, the Boule is very real. They are the guardians of the elite. They are black. Kind of like how vampires and like the wolves, the werewolves. You know the stories about vampires and werewolves. Do y'all know how that goes? Like, and there's something that you need to understand. Most of these, like, mysteries and the mysticism and, all of the myths that we have that are developed, dragons and werewolves and vampires and this and that, they're all metaphors for real world stuff. Okay? They're metaphors. So the vampires, they're out at night. They can't walk in the daylight because they're cursed by God, right? And the sun, presence of God, will just... So they're in the shadows. I want you to think about what that means. Not legitimately, not real. But what are vampires accused of doing? They're accused of sucking the life force out of people. It's funny, during the whole Pizzagate era, people were talking a whole lot about adrena to the chrome, right? They were talking a whole lot about that. Do you guys even know what that means? Most of you? Sanguine activity. Sanguine behavior. You guys know what sanguine means, right? It means to suck the life force. Hold on a second. What is this that the glaive is saying? Proving organized gang stalking using weaponized social platforms like YouTube are definitely not a metaphor, right, Jaguar? Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely, and salute to you, the glaive. Trust me. I know I'm a real T.I., and I'm not talking about a rapper. But that's what vampires do. They and the younger, right? The better with vampires. You don't really see in vampire movies vampires running after the elderly. Like, for real. Like, if it was all about just like tapping in and and sucking a source real quick, you don't see like vampires going after the elderly. They would be the easiest prey for a vampire. They old, they can't move fast. You know, if people find them unalive, they'll just assume, if you can find a way to cover up the marks, that they died a natural car. You know, you would think that, you know, if they wanted to just go and, you know, find some prey that was easy, that people wouldn't ask too many questions about. You don't see them going, they're young, fresh, good blood. You know? That's what you see vampires do. Now I want you to think about these elites, these elite families, and the things that they're being accused of. All of this foolishness with spirit cooking and carrying on. Like I said, this is a very clever name, isn't it? The Divine 911 bail bonds. You know, bail bonds, it might not seem like a great community responsibility, but it is. It most definitely is. Right? They have the ability to what? Work with the courts, work with the jails, to, for profit, be able to secure someone's freedom from incarceration while waiting to be tried. That's going to put them in touch with what? Sheriffs. That's going to put them in touch with judges. That's going to put them in touch, well, maybe not judges, but definitely clerks. Clerks who are the right hands to judges. So I'm putting all this together, just little by little by little. So you got your vampires. And vampires are guarded by what? Werewolves, right? Werewolves are guardians to the vampires. Now the werewolves, they're allowed to do what? They're allowed to move around in daylight. They can protect, right? They're there to guard and make sure that nothing messes with their bosses, right? Think about that movie Underworld, but I want y'all to think more. Just look at symbolism. You don't really remember seeing a whole lot of black people being vampires. Actually, Vampire in Brooklyn was like the first time that we saw, like, you know, a celebrated black character playing a vampire in films. Typically, in your vampire movie, what? They're white. They're Caucasian. Technically, well, you're talking about Blackula and you're talking about Blade. Blade, technically, was not a vampire. Don't forget. He was a daywalker. His mother was a vampire, and he was able to do what? To stave off. And Blackula, that was blaxploitation. And blaxploitation, that's not classic American cinema. It's not considered classic American cinema, even though it very much so is. Blaxploitation films and everything attached with it. Once upon a time saved Hollywood when Hollywood was doing bad. Kind of like how Hollywood is doing bad now and social media is saving it. I want y'all to think about that. Think about what your typical vampire, the history of it, what it all looked like. Caucasian. And the werewolves regardless of what they look like when they were in human form. Black-haired, very strong. Wolves. Black and white. See, the boule is the protector of the elite class. Just like the werewolves protected the vampires, the boule protects our social vampires. Advisors to the king. Imagine if a network like fraternities and sororities had the ability to manipulate people in or out of jail, to be able to grant people freedom or take people's freedom away. Like, imagine to have a bail bonds that's connected to frat life and fraternity, secret society. Are y'all following me? Put a 1 in the chat. Now imagine organizations like this being able to orchestrate networks online. Places like YouTube. Imagine. You know, when my little legal trouble started coming after me, it was all orchestrated by YouTube crap. All of it. And guess what? The cases that are surrounding me, the people who were on my bond, even down to the references, weren't anybody from my real life. All YouTube. Put a 2 in the chat if that sounds crazy to you. The first bond that was the bond that was used to make me a fugitive because it was canceled by someone who wasn't even a bond holder, because the bond holder was Angela Owusu. Legina Gold, the fake R. Kelly daughter. Very Truman Show. Right, wheelchair boy? Because that's what got you in trouble, and that's what got y'all platform taken down. You saying that to Tysha Renee Johnson. Think like the Truman Show. Studying y'all and watching y'all and how y'all operated. I know it all pisses you off. Yeah. Yeah, I played along so I could find out how it all works. And what I came to realize as I studied how these troll farms operate, it's layer upon layer upon layer. But Legina Gold was my bondholder, and I really want I gotta find out who that was. Because Monica Lockett was the one who compromised it. Matter of fact, she sat right over there on Real Life, and she bragged about having my bond terminated for absolutely no good reason at all. And then it was a bunch of YouTubers that stalked me down while I was trying to get my family situated, because I was getting them away from being stalked in real life. People coming up to our place, Pulling up in front of where we lived? Absolutely. You damn right I let that lease lapse. I wasn't trying to take along the second ex-husband who was working with them. I wanted to make sure there was an eviction on his record so his name couldn't go on another place. See, a lot of people keep forgetting about that. That my second ex-husband's name was on that lease. Matter of fact, everybody who lived in there's name was on that lease. Mine's wasn't. Nope. So I like it when I hear people talk about, oh yeah, she got evicted. How did I get evicted? My name was never on that lease. I don't have an eviction on my name for that place. My mother, God rest her soul, her name was on that lease. And guess what? It didn't matter if she had an eviction on her record. We were partners. We had my company. We had our company accounts. And everything could go in my name. And with her being elderly and me being her caretaker and having power of attorney over her affairs, she, of course, could live wherever I wanted to live. Now, my second ex-husband, he would have had a problem because that eviction is very much so on his name. People don't rent in Texas to anybody. Actually, not too many places in the South where people will rent to you if you have an eviction on your name. See? I wanted to make sure he couldn't come along with me. I tied that ass up real good. And see, between that and him booming my car that was in me and my mother's name, and then Trashy K agreeing to help him and to bond him out if he got arrested for anything. Does anybody else remember that other than me? That Trashy K wanted to help? After she set me up? See, the reason why y'all don't see Angela Owusu anymore or Legina Gold anymore is because that was all orchestrated by Trashy K and her minions, Adrian Deontay Lewis and Michael Braggs, and Monica Lockett. They all put that Legina Gold psyop together to try to find a way to throw a fake victim on me so people wouldn't believe me or so real victims wouldn't want to talk to me. I knew it was off, wanted nothing to do with it. They kept trying to find a way to tie that girl to me, so I said, you know what? I'm going to bring her close. And I'm going to make her tell the truth. See, that's why nobody promotes my project, The Woodshed, which, by the way, was made available. You know, it's so funny. People are always talking about, oh, yeah, she was using that girl for content, and she never made it available to the public. That's not true. Sure did. They're just going to say that. You know, when I think of what I'm now calling the police substation, when I think of that platform, it's kind of interesting. The things that they say. But I digress. Back to vampires and werewolves, the Boule and the elite. Now, Oliver Stone's son has came forward and said that the Jigga Man is a Mason, high level. have a family member that's also a high-level Mason. Someone I love very much. I also know that my first ex-husband, his father, was attached to the Masonic order. It's all around me. I'll never forget what I was told. All you have to do is become an Eastern Star and you'll never have to worry about a police problem ever again. You'll never have to worry about any problem ever again. That's all you gotta do. And there were a couple other people that tried to get me in a couple other sororities, you know? Be leery of organizations that call themselves champions of philanthropy and charity. Like Yeshua always said, if you truly want to do charitable work, do it in silence. Don't publicize it. Organizations that do, you should be leery of them. Very much so. Because see, they pretend to do these things in the forefront, so no one will pay attention to what they're doing in the back. See, they gain your trust by all of their so-called good deeds and good works, so that they're the last people you would suspect to be involved in hurting humanity, hurting society, hurting the youth. Secret societies, see? I'm just trying to figure out how you got a bail bonds. And for those who can see, let them see. And for those who can hear, let them hear. I know I'm scattering all over the place, but for those who can keep up, I'm sure you'll keep up. How you got a professional bail bonds and this is?
Hello?
Yes, is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling because I had a couple of questions. I've been researching some bail bonds in your area, and I wanted to just get some more information. I ran into...
Oh, let's see here. What do we have here? Me love nah. My sorority does great work for the Black community and such, and always have. Yeah, I know. A lot of sororities do a lot of great work. How many crimes have they covered up? Like, I'm sure they've done great work. Can you tell us how many crimes they've covered up? Because I can tell you for a fact that I know a good share of sororities that have covered crimes up. Matter of fact, I'll never forget one of my exes when I was a kid, when I was young. And it's wild because the truth is, if we were to fast forward my relationship with him, I was, 14 years old? He was 20? He was an A5. I remember when he went away to college. I remember when he came home from college. I remember some of the stuff that he did. I remember a lot of the stuff that he did that they covered up. And I remember when he stopped behaving and he stopped cooperating. And I remember the hard time he had. And I remember when he started making his way back up. It was interesting. He started being interested in spending time around me. And I started peeping certain things about the way he was moving that I didn't particularly care for. And then I started seeing his allegiance to the boule. People like me are very dangerous. And do yourself a favor. Anyone who is in a sorority or a fraternity, like, don't feel the need to brag about it here on this channel, because all it's going to do is make the real ones that follow me pay attention to you. No one's denying the fact that they do great charitable work. But can you be honest about all of the shit that they cover up? The drinking and the driving and the accidents. The underage people that are snuck into their parties that get violated and things never get reported. And cops who are in the fraternities as well are covered. Like, can you speak to any of that? Because if you can't, then yeah, the hazings and all of that. Can you speak to any of that? $704, you can stop spamming my chat. You like spamming my chat. I don't know why. This isn't the first time you've done this. You do this all the time. And spamming my chat in caps. I've been to Stanford parties. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of bail bonds, professional bail bonds, that got PPP loan issues.
Hello?
Yes, is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling because I had a couple of questions. I've been researching.
What shocks me the most? How complacent and cooperating society is. How complacent and cooperative society is.
Some bail bonds in your area, and is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling because I had a couple of questions. I've been researching some bail bonds in your area, and I wanted to just get some more information. I ran into you on Facebook.
Okay, well, my mom's not here. This is her work phone, so I'll have her call you back in the morning.
Well, what's your mom's name? Because I didn't see a name on the...
Her name's Tatiana Nicholas.
Tatiana Nicholas?
Yeah.
Okay, so not Monique Talbert?
She's Miss Monique's assistant.
Oh, so she works for Miss Monique.
You know, there's a lot of conversation about Monique Talbert. A lot of conversation. There's been all kind of speculations about what Monique Tilbert does. There are content creators like little weirdos. Little not-nots. Little have-nots. Who try to create all kinds of speculation. But so we now have actual confirmation that the Monique Taubert
Tatiana Nicholas?
Yeah.
Okay, so not Monique Taubert?
She's Miss Monique's assistant.
Oh, so she works for Miss Monique. Okay. All right, got it. And I'm trying to, because someone had recommended the company, and it said that you guys were always open. So, is that not true?
Yes, but she's not here right now. So I'll have to have her call you back.
Okay, that's great. Can you just let her know that,
I will.
okay, you don't need my name or anything?
She has the number that you called from.
Oh, okay. Does she have my name too?
I'm not sure. I can't help you with anything. I know nothing about it. I just have to have her call you back.
Okay. Well, thanks.
I don't know. Does that seem professional to you? I don't know. Does that seem professional to you? A bail bonds with a kid that answers the phone. Doesn't take a name, doesn't take down any information, nothing. They have your number. They'll get back to you. This is my mom's work phone. Then what are you doing with it, child? It's a bail bonds company. Like, it's a bail bonds company. It's supposed to be open 24 hours. There to be available to help people who need to bond someone out or secure bond for themselves or whatever the case may be. I mean, since people are so worried about my legal status, like the substation. Making phone calls. Guess what? I made some phone calls too. Got them recorded too. Guess what? They don't sound all that pressed. I got people running around lying, saying I'm on a most wanted list. I'm on no such thing. but I got people saying that I am. And then I have people correcting that I am. And it's funny because the people that are correcting it, why would you be correcting it online? Because the person that was saying it was lying to officers of court. Why would you be saying it online? Why would you be clarifying it online? Is that judge conducting hearings on YouTube? Like, there's so much collusion on so many levels, it's hard to keep up. Layer of layer of layer. But I don't know. Like, this is a bail bonds that also has a financial service. I wonder how much Cash App funds have trickled through Divine 911 financials. Like, it's funny, like, people like to get online and they like to flex and they like to run their mouth and talk, and I just don't get it. Because, see, I'm not confused by anything. What I do know, though, are the links that some people will go to try to create all kinds of confusion so that people won't look in the necessary areas where they need to be looking.
Me, Monica, Danny, and Rabbit were like a team. And Danny and Rabbit started fighting, and then they doxed each other. Or they tried to dox each other. And then those two split off, and then, like, you know, then Rabbit kind of turned on both me and Monica, and Danny did the same thing, because the money to be made was against me and Monica, as opposed to, like, supporting me and Monica. And, you know, using the Nosy Ho template, like, Nosy was making so much fucking money. Like, when Monique told her, like, Monique, that poor woman, never she got, like, you know, like, that was never her. And, like,
Monique Talbert? Why would Monique Talbert's name be being brought up in a bunch of online YouTube crap? What?
and, you know, using the Nosy Ho template, like, Nosy was making so much fucking money. Like, when Monique told her, like, Monique, that poor woman, never she got, like, you know, like, that was never her. And, like, I mean, they thought it was, like, the CEO of Bojangles Chicken was Monica. Like, you know,
Yeah, I heard that.
8 million different ideas about who she was. And, like, it never really mattered. Like, who cared, like, who Monica was? Like, except if she's hurting people, because...
Monique Talbert, that poor woman. And salute to you, Patrick. I'm glad you're enjoying your membership. You know, what I find most interesting is how stupid these people think everyone is. Why would Monique Talbert, who I do believe once upon a time's name was Monique Allen, why would her name be popping up in any of this? See, you know, it trips me out because people really think that people are dumb. People really think that people are dumb, you know? Like, People really think that people are dumb. People really think that people are stupid. Not at all, not by any means. It really don't matter how many filters you use or how many lace fronts you put on, especially considering that once upon a time, you used to be a hairdresser. It really don't matter. Some veneers. Unless you've made enough money to get full facial reconstruction. It's kind of interesting. You know? It's kind of interesting. See, I got a theory. Especially when like you're online. You can do so much. You can get away with so much. Like the people who go out of their way to pretend that they're anonymous. Like it's already been admitted that so-called camera slip with the really, really, really ugly, ogreish looking woman that they were saying was Monica the Avatar. It wasn't her. All of that was being orchestrated by John Yates, who was supposed to be the big racist. But you know what though? Apparently, so was down the rabbit hole, who I call Ling Ling, because allegedly, actually, I won't even say allegedly, I'll say actually, because there's evidence of it. Ling Ling was running around cosplaying with a black avatar, pretending to be a black person, saying all kinds of racially inappropriate things. And then when I go back even further and realize that all of this was connected to Nosy Ho, who once upon a time I was very much so involved with here on these YouTube streets. She, dibbled and dabbled in advocacy to a certain extent. And now it went from Nosy Ho's platform, the social advocacy, the social media advocacy, it went from her platform to the robot platform. And it's funny because the robot is the one that came after Nosy Ho. And then there was a whole army around that happened when that person was still only using, the robotic voice. And then they found the right character to play the part, right? Somebody that doesn't have a criminal background. Somebody whose digital footprint ain't that great because they don't have that much of a life. You know what I mean? Like, really interesting. Very interesting. Extremely interesting, honestly. They found the right person. See, I have this theory. So, this theory of mine. See, I think that Monica the Avatar, who was the initial person to come after Nosy Ho, because Nosy Ho was busy trying to take her down, and they were going back and forth, and there was all of that, and Nosy was, I know for a fact, Nosy was making bank. She was making anywhere from 15 to 30 grand a month at one point in time. I don't know when that changed. I'm not going to say too much. We'll say allegedly. But I have, she was very candid about how much money she made and all the shopping that she used to do and the clothes and stuff that she used to buy and things of that nature. So I don't know how she, moved around with the whole like not having to pay Nicki Minaj all of the money for her lawsuit. I think it was like 70 Nicki won it. But see, when things started going down between the two of them, I wasn't around. I was gone. I was off grid, like all the way off grid. I was not on social media in any way. I wasn't talking to anyone at all. Like when I quarantined my life, I quarantined my life. No one knew exactly where I was. People did know that I was closer to the East Coast, that I wasn't on the West Coast or in the South, but they weren't quite sure. I could have been anywhere from Atlanta to Louisiana to Texas to Arizona. Who am I talking about? Well, I'll do a quick little reset. I'm talking about a lot. Technically, what I'm talking about are the covert operations of internet villains and their very, very, very layered network, and how they use this layered network to deceive the public. So, WD-40 is screaming for this particular chair. No, but seriously though, that's what we're talking about right now. And I'm not being completely candid about everything that I have to say. I'm not. Not at all. I'm being a little cheeky. Yeah, I think I want to use that word today. Cheeky. For those across the pond, you know exactly what I mean when I say that. Coy is another good word too. Yeah. I'm being cryptic. Yeah, that's another good one. I'm being me. That too. Not too much, but enough. Facetious, that's another good one. See, I know right now, everything that I'm doing is making somebody pull their very natty and matty baby doll hair out. It's off a wig. Awful. I'd rather be my bald-headed self, even though I'm not bald-headed. My hair grows. I get haircuts. Bald-headed people, their hair don't grow. Yeah, so anyway, long and short. Spray the chair with some oil sheen. Well, when I'm like this, it's fine. It's like when I lean back and I rock, that's when I get the noise. But when I'm like this, I'm perfectly fine. So maybe it's just my ass is too big. I don't know. I'm supposed to be fat and homeless and broke and all kinds of things. This is me. Sitting on the sidewalk. Live with a microphone. Jeez Louise. stay out of future trouble in Texas. I wasn't getting into trouble in Texas. What I was doing was calling out where the trouble was, and people were giving me troubles for it. I didn't get in any trouble in Texas. How is it troubling to go to a police precinct and report corruption, report crimes, and instead get arrested for disorderly conduct? Imagine that. Imagine going to report a crime and getting charged. Imagine having all of your belongings stolen because people are busy looking for evidence that you might have had stashed away. Imagine being hospitalized and being forcibly over-medicated, being stuck with all kinds of needles so that people can try to convince the world that you're crazy so no one will believe what you're saying. Imagine. That's not me getting into trouble. That's me exposing where the trouble actually is and being persecuted for it. There's a difference. Big difference. Now, like I was saying, what was I saying? Where was I? Oh yeah, we were talking about multi-layered network. See, what I believe, and it's just so funny because there's more. I digress. There's more. I got to go back because there's a connection. See, I didn't know that Ling, and see, that's why I called Ling 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 Ling. And when I say Ling Ling, I'm talking about that rabbit hole person. Because she was being a racist while she was cosplaying as a fake black person when she was just an avatar until people found out she was Mexican. And so I call her Ling Ling. I do that on purpose. Matter of fact, I did that so bad, she got so mad that she started getting online speaking Spanish, just trying to convince people that she wasn't. See, they don't like when you do it to them. They don't like it at all. But no, I didn't realize that she was connected to the Plainest Jane, who was one of the original people who was working in the Trash Chicane network of content creators that were making false videos about me and lying on me and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. 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 All kinds of crazy. Plainest Jane was a mess. I wonder what happened to her. She don't show up in my algorithm. I pray to God I no longer show up in hers, and I pray to God I no longer show up in her video titles either. No, they designated the police substation. Title after title after title after title after title. Like it, you gotta realize that you have to be the most pathetic person on the face of this earth to consistently keep putting video after video after video after video after video after video up about someone, and they never even get anywhere near close to viral. Never. But somehow the transcripts end up being sent to judges and clerks and police officers, like, with no real evidence attached, just all of your weird stuff. Like, I feel sorry for the ones who, like, sit around and post up like 15 videos in a week about me, and like all 10, 12 videos get less than 2,000 views. Like, that's sad. Like, that means it's just time to let go. Thank you, Esoteric. Appreciate you. No, but seriously though, it's just like, y'all gotta stop. I'm doing an update on nothing, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna cover old content that I said I wasn't gonna acknowledge, even though I sit in my Discord and I watch it and I do whole watch parties with my group of people where we go around and we pick out timestamps just so we can shut down people's videos like irrelevant little girls like Sammy. Like me and my team, we sit in Discord. Right, Michael? And we watch videos like we're clocking in to do a shift at a call center. Right, Michael? And we orchestrate lies. And we work up plots. See, when it comes to Monique Talbert, or even that robot who replaced. Like, it was crazy. It was all about the tea, all about the tea, and then all about the tea left, and then faithful moderators got awarded platforms or were asked to start new platforms. See, I can believe it when I hear people say stuff like, I have all of these monetized channels and my name isn't on any of them. I can believe it. I can believe it when, start throwing out names like Lori Davis from Atlanta. Why is that so specific? Oh, that's right. There was a former moderator of mine who was trying to convince me that the robot and Solar, Courtney Townsend, were neighbors and grew up together in Atlanta around the same place that Lori Davis person is, except for that other person's name was attached to it. And then they tried to convince me of it, that Solar was attached to the robot. Or like that other weirdo, the talented Mr. Ricketts, that psychopath who constantly keeps running around trying to convince everyone that the robot is a foreign person. First running with that lie that John Yates told, who knows exactly who these people are because they were moderators, and then they pretended to fall out, and then they pretended to not be cool. Because see, this is what they do. When it looks like things are getting too hot and that people might be catching on to who they are, they stage a falling out, they stage a breakup. And they fake dox each other, and then they do all of this other stuff, and then they get a bunch of other outlets to pretend and go along with the lies, and then create this story, and then create this story, and then create this story. I agree. I don't think that person's real name is on any paperwork. I don't think that person's real name is on anything. No, I don't. I don't think that these are this person's, either one of these people. I don't think that these were their channels. I think that they're hired characters. I think they clock in and get on the microphone. I think that they choose to be the voice of a platform so that when people start going to research it, even if the real person's name is on it, the person that is pretending to be that so-called character isn't connected. I mean, that would be the smartest thing to do in the world, wouldn't it? Especially if you're doing like cyber terrorism, and if you're doing, cyber crimes, if you're stalking, if you're doxing, if you're harassing, if you're, creating negative campaigns, if you're constantly defaming and slandering. I mean, you will want to make sure that things didn't go. You're a little lost in this conversation? Okay, how do we sum all of this up to make it easy for those who are lost? For the past 6 years, I've been being gang stalked and harassed by a network of so-called content creators. I have been swatted. I have had my address doxed by people who were supposed to be moderators, people who pretended to be friends, who pretended to be supporters. I've had people who laid in the bed with me and called themselves my lovers turn informants and spies, including my second ex-husband. I've had all kinds of stuff going on, and I'm linking all of this back to secret society behavior and activity. See, a lot of people like to say, oh, there's a troll farm, Jag is lying, oh, she's lying, and there's absolutely nothing, because I said Rock Nation or whatever the case may be. But the truth is, like I said, when it comes to industry parties, they're all Diddy parties. It doesn't matter who's throwing it. There is a certain protocol. That was me kind of speaking in code to keep myself from saying the very thing that people were not ready to hear me say. That Diddy is the Temu version of Jeffrey Epstein. And that Jeffrey Epstein is one of the greatest tools that the elite has used to control society and to blackmail the world into going along with the elite and whatever it is that they needed to have done or do for whatever reason. And Diddy was just a byproduct of that. He was, like I said, he was the Temu version. And they're in control of media, especially social media. And in social media, you have these organized networks headed at the top by some, and then layer after layer after layer after layer, all the way down to the basic little bottom basement trolls that you see. It's honestly like a pyramid scam. It's like a network, because the people at the top make the big money, and then trickle down. Like I said, they collaborate and they compete, but they're all working. Like, for instance, last week, there was so-called this great exposure that happened online that was supposed to be taking down one of the biggest little cyber terrorists that we have here online, and that was nothing but a ruse. It was a scam. I feel bad for everyone who bought into it. I feel bad for everyone who wasted their time watching that crap. I feel bad for everyone who super chatted and cash apped and did all of that, because the truth is, it's wire fraud. Everything that happened in that broadcast was a lie, but people showed up to watch it. Mostly, though, the people that encourage these little false, little fake networks. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there was this whole thing, and it was crazy. Like, had people showing up to my live, trying to get me to comment on it in my live. We had to throw people out of my live, like, just because, see, they need me to talk about it. They need me to engage in it, because they need me to help kick it back up. Because, see, that's why all of these, well, you don't have to feel bad about being late, baby. You can just go on ahead and replay. Trust me. You'll get it. But like I was saying, and this is a very multi-layered and complex conversation, which is why I'm going about it the way I'm going about it. Because it's set up to be confusing for a reason. It's set up to be misleading for a reason. It is set up so that anybody that has the patience to hunt this thing down will get frustrated and give up. There were 6 liars sitting on a panel all at the same time, glad-handing and congratulating. Nothing. A farce. A farce for nothing more than content, to try to find a way to get people invested in these god-awful sectors. You have what was called the Jaguar Wright sector, the black tea sector, you got the boxing sector, you got the Krishan Rock sector, and you got the Clarissa Shields sector. And all of them have now merged, and the beef sector, which have all now merged into one. Do you guys realize that? They've all merged into one. 6 different sectors. You want to know why? Because that's how many people they've lost, because it's no longer profitable. They got some weirdo drunk old nigga doing broadcasts, putting my name on it. And then goofy bitches sending me emails, asking me, dropping links. For the past 6 months, these people, I did a whole live, the maniac, the psychos, the psychopath live. That wasn't about me trying to critique the sector. That was about me exposing the fact that these people are heavily invested and still trying to find a way to loop me back in. I showed the evidence of all of the emails that they send me, bothering me. Like, I don't talk about these people. But see, there are things that happened in the backdrop that people don't know. And see, that's what this live is really about. Because I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that right now. Yeah, that was me calling it out. So some weirdo sitting there talking about, I respond when I want to respond, and I paid it dust, and nobody talked about it, and that's why this person did this, and this person did that, and whoop-de-whoop, but I'm going to respond now, and the reason why I'm responding now was because the content that I was trying to do, because I was stalking someone else's court hearing, didn't work out in the way that I wanted it to work. And the person that I'm working with, they didn't have anything good to give me, so I had to go back and edit a whole nother live. And then I had to come back and pretend that this live was the live that I had already intended to do, which is why I said that it was about this person. And then I come back and I go over something that's nearly a month old. Really? Really? It took you that long to get around to it? If it wasn't worth responding to, then why respond to it at all? You need content that bad? There's so many things that I've been watching you and your little weirdo network do for weeks. And man, oh man, oh man. Boy, would I love to tell everybody about it, but I'm not. Not yet. Not yet. Because see, what I do know is that mole ain't nothing but an employee. Just like Monica and all her fake pictures. Employees working for a larger network. They find personalities or someone to adapt a personality. and then play that personality. Meanwhile, there's a whole network like disbarred attorneys and whatnot. Like, disbarred attorneys? That's who's over there doing all your pace of work. Like, there's a whole lot of like fraud people working in these little networks. Let's take it from the top, shall we? Just one more again. One more again.
Yes, is this the Divine 911 bail bonds? Hello? Is this the Divine 911 bail bonds?
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling because I had a couple of questions. I've been researching some bail bonds in your area, and I wanted to just get some more information. I ran into you on Facebook.
Okay, well, my mom's not here. This is her work phone, so I'll have her call you back in the morning.
Well, what's your mom's name? Because I didn't see a name on the...
Her name's Tatiana Nicholas.
Tatiana Nicholas?
Yes.
Okay, so not Monique Taubert?
She's Miss Monique's assistant.
Oh, so she works for Miss Monique. Okay, all right, got it. And I'm trying to... Because someone had recommended the company, and it said that you guys were always open. So, is that not true?
Yes, but she's not here right now, so I'll have to have her call you back.
Okay, that's great. Can you just let her know that,
I will.
Okay, you don't need my name or anything?
She has the number that you called from.
Oh, okay. Does she have my name too?
I'm not sure. I can't help you with anything. I know nothing about it. I just have to have her call you back.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Me, Monica, Danny, and Rabbit were like a team. And then Danny and Rabbit started fighting, and then they doxed each other. Or they tried to dox each other.
What the hell?
Those teams split off, and then then Rabbit kind of turned to both me and Monica, and Danny did the same thing, because the money to be made was against me and Monica, as opposed to supporting me and Monica. And using the Nosy Ho template, Nosy was making so much fucking money. When Monique told her, Monique, that poor woman, never she got, that was never her. And they thought it was the CEO of Bojack.
Is that real, John Yates? It was never her? It's interesting. It was never her. I guess you can say it was never her because technically it wasn't. How did her name get mixed up in all of that to begin with? How does the owner of a bail bonds company that has children answering the phone mixed up in a bunch of YouTube crap? How? I tell you what, bail bonds are attached to all kind of things legal. And how clever this is, the Divine 911, the Divine 9. Fraternal Order of Police. Frat. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm tripping. Put a 3 in the chat if you feel like I might be on to something. Put a 4 in the chat if this all just seems like a bunch of bullshit to you. 3 in the chat if you think I'm on to something. 4 in the chat if you think I'm just, yeah. See, while they sit online and they're organizing all their fraud, like, it's crazy work to me to sit online for like 4 hours pretending and begging and scamming to cover a fraudulent network. But I get it. Some of the things that I was saying and some of the things that I was doing. I guess I was pointing too much out. You want to know what I do know? The simple fact that that dead bird in Canada and that weirdo Not were working together to try to line people up in their private court hearings. Why would y'all even be worried about stuff like that? That was somebody else's op. Why were y'all involved? Why would you be involved unless you were working for that person? Why, in God's name, would that desperate panel come together to create all of that falsehood? Like, the day after I unveil this beauty? See, cause and effect. Because you want to know what happened before I unveiled this beauty? With this terrible wig? High yellow goofy. You want to know what else happened? Me and my team were approached by a couple of people that we know work with this goofy. Matter of fact, there were some comments made about things not being reported that are happening on PACER that nobody else wants to seem to talk about. I've been all kinds of places. That would probably make some of y'all just ass itch. Like I said, I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna say just enough. But for those who can hear, let them hear. For those who can see, let them see. All of the foolishness that's going on with the unveiling of certain people, all of this was already done. It was done for Monica, the avatar. They went through all of the same orchestrated whatever And this one's going to be exposed and that one's going to be exposed. And then when things got too hot and the legal ramifications were stacking up against their team, they pulled that hoe and then replaced her with another dumb hoe who used to sit online crying. Try to act a little bit tougher now, even though that voice. Cause I make you move. You don't make me move. It's about to heat up. And I ain't gonna say much more than I've already said. We've been here for a little while. This was fun, guys. I'm sorry. I don't understand. You know, people say the weirdest things. I don't hate anyone gay. I don't. And technically, I'm not gay. I'm bisexual. There's a difference. And technically, women can't be gay. Women can be lesbian, but not gay. Only men are gay. If you want to get like funny about it. You know what I don't like? I don't like abusers and weirdos who hide behind the cloak of LGBTQIA+. Because see, just because someone can physically engage in actions with someone doesn't make them that. You should watch the movie Silence of the Lambs. Buffalo Bill swore to God he was trans, but he wasn't. He was a monster in trans clothing. And there are a lot of fake people. Like, I'm gonna be very honest with you. If you've ever sold your body in the commission of an intimate act, I question whatever you gender yourself as, or you call yourself. Because a prosty, a professional, has the ability to not care who they've been with, as long as they get the money. Like, how can you say, like, I guess the reason why you would say something simple-minded, like, why do I hate gay men? I don't hate gay men. But are the people you're calling gay really gay? Or are they just professionals who hide behind the cloak of it? Because real gay men don't engage in fake relationships with women for profit. That's what prosties do. That's what a prosty does. Especially if you're supposed to be in a committed relationship. Like, if you're in a committed relationship, it really doesn't matter how you identify. You should only identify as the partner of the person that you're with. Like, how about that? Like, that gender stuff really only, like, that gender identification or how you identify in your intimate life, it only really matters if you're single. How do I identify? I identify as a woman who's very happy in the relationship that I'm in, the monogamous relationship that I'm in. That's all that matters. That's it. That's how I identify myself, as a monogamous woman in a happy relationship. Like, that's it. There is nothing else. But there's a lot of people who are supposed to be in relationships who do a whole lot of playing around on social media, taking people for their money. Oh, honey, I know they're jealous. Whether I'm at my best or whether I'm at my worst, I know they're jealous. I don't need to get all dressed up and do all of that crazy stuff like all of these other people do. I have something more to offer. I have so much more to offer. I promise you this, a conversation with Beyonce will make you want to take your life. That's how dumb she is. But people don't care about what is really up there or what comes out of there. They only care about the entertainment and how she looks. Ooh, and meanwhile, she's sitting there telling you, come on, worship. Here, come worship Satan with me. Let's sing to the devil and pray for Prada and Louis Vuitton. You know, Odell was doing a little research the other day, and he was researching the meaning of Balenciaga. And I think it like translates into something like, you know, a worshiper of Baal. Baal, the god who gobbles up little kids. And so, you know, it makes you wonder about, you know, Balmain, like that's Baal. Well, I mean, technically, Black Nurse, she is older than me. She's been lying about her age. That's why that whole Jigga grooming her story would never go anywhere, because all they would have to do was pull out her real ID, because she was born, don't forget, she went to school with Gabrielle Union. I was so wrong when I said 1974. I forgot they're 1972. They were in the 6th grade together. So, this is the thing. When it all comes down to it in the end, you have the truth, you have lies, and then you have the world that media creates in between. You can choose to live in the world of in between, or you can commit to being a champion for the lies, or you can commit to living life in truth. I'm going to tell you all this now. For the good, for the bad, whatever it may be. I live for the truth. Anyone who would dare go out of your way to fix their mouth to call me a liar, you should be very, 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 very suspicious of that person. Because regardless of all the stories that they've created and all of the things that they've come up with, if you go back and you look at their so-called receipts and so-called evidence and everything that they say, you can't even get to the beginning of the origin of it. It all comes from them. None of it's real. But see, they just stack lie after lie and lie on top of lie. And then You get exhausted, kind of like how they've done with the Epstein files, right? They're supposed to be released and we're supposed to have access to them. It's supposed to be out there and all this transparency. And they release it, but a bunch of stuff is redacted and all the bad guys are protected and all of the victims are doxxed and all of this is going on. And then all of the entertainers that are in it, the entertainers that I told you were in it, are in it. Nobody's paying attention. Like, nobody has said shit about the Shakira unveiling in the Epstein files. No one's talking about Rihanna and the Epstein files. Nobody's even wondering if Beyonce is in those files and the other 3 million that haven't been released yet. Like, nobody. Honey, we can't even begin. We can talk about the Doge checks, but we will. Right now, I think we should all be more concerned with looking into why the Block Corporation is settling for under $100 million in the lawsuit against it, because they want to make sure that this never goes to court for everything that will come out. Because I guarantee you, what you will find, what they're allegedly hiding, is money washing. And Mr. Carter is on that board. Now, there is a Cash App that definitely needs to be investigated. Actually, two, both attached to my name. Jags Bread 2 and Jags Bread 22. Jags Bread 22 was listed as the recommended Cash App on the Cash App app. Had my name on it, my avatar on it, so much so to the point that people that were donating to me or trying to donate to me donated to Jags Bread 22. Why? Because of how the human mind works. It said recommended. People would think that if it was recommended, it would be being recommended because it was me. It was not. I do believe that that Cash App was used to pay stalkers and harassers on social media. And they passed that Cash App around for people, and people thought that they were donating to me. That's fraud. That's wire fraud. I can tell you right now, the robot, the the SDWs, the OKPs, all of these people, they were passing that Cash App around. They should all be charged with wire fraud. Every last one of them. Yes, there needs to be an investigation done. How many crimes were paid for with that Cash App? You reported that one? You reported it to the feds? Then we need more people to do it. There are real things that are happening right now. We all need to get a little bit more focused than we do, than we have been, than we've been doing. But it's definitely time. And I deserve reparations for every ounce of money that was stolen in my name. See, that would be my legal defense fund, rather than me having to try to earn it all over again. I think that's why they have such a problem with us having the GoFundMe, because they don't really have a legitimate way to be able to steal it. See, that's what these people do. They steal from you to make sure that you cannot hire adequate legal representation, or be able to bond yourself out, or to be able to pay whatever they throw at you. It all needs to be flagged. But right now, before we go, because my device is about to give out on me, anyone who's ever donated to Jags Bread 22 rather than Jags Bread 2, if you've ever donated to that, thinking you were sending it to me, I need you to go in your Cash App, pull up that transaction, screenshot it, and email it to me. either to realjag77@gmail or to jaguarwright@gmail.com. Either one. Anyone who has ever donated to Jags Bread 22, please go in your Cash App history, screenshot it, that transaction, and please email it to me as soon as possible, because that is evidence of wire fraud. And we can subpoena whoever the holder of that account is. Anyone. I don't care how much money it was. I don't care if it was $2 or if it was $150 or if it was $1,000. Anyone who has ever donated to Jags Bread 22 on Cash App, please go in your Cash App history. Take a picture of that Cash App. That transaction. And email it to me immediately. They want to settle, and I want to kick up some dust. My name is Jaguar Wright. It's been a blast, guys. We've been here for a little while, and it's time for me to mosey on along. I don't know if we'll be coming back later on today, but you guys know Tuesday tea is tomorrow, and towards the end of the week, whether it be Friday or Saturday, we do the weekend wrap-up right here on the YouTube. We're also on Kick. Please go over there, become a subscriber. We're going to be doing a lot more deep dive stuff that, I don't know, might not pass muster on Patreon, because sometimes we get a little bit too real. But whether or not you're a member on Patreon or a member over at Kick, we appreciate you. We thank you so much. And we also thank you for making this an almost 130,000 subscriber platform. We're still growing, but we need to get bigger. We need to get bigger. In my opinion, I should have been at 1 million subscribers already, if you ask me. Should have been. I help make other people's platforms grow. I should be able to equally do the same for my own. For those who don't know that we're here, please let somebody know. Send the link. Tell them to get a membership. At least subscribe. And know that this open house is not very often. Usually we are a members only chat. We do a lot of members only stuff. And we keep things behind the paywall that we do not allow open to the public. Become a member of this community. And yeah, I'm planning a little interview very soon. And I really hope all of you guys show up as soon as I can confirm that we're going to be running with that. And we're on Rumble as well. Thank you for reminding me of that, Satin West. Appreciate you. And don't forget to subscribe to Satin West. They got some really hot, interesting things that are coming up over there. I think you guys are going to love it. I got a preview. There's nothing like a good animated series, especially when it's based on hip hop. So what's the GoFundMe donation information? I don't think I have it here, but you can get to it on my website, thejaguarwright.com. All things Jaguar Wright, donation methods, any kind of inquiries or updates that are pertinent or relevant, you can find that there, and that'll lead you to everything. All of the hyperlinks are there. But you can just go to GoFundMe and search Jaguar Wright, and it should also pop up as well. I do believe we're going to be doing something, though, with the GoFundMe site. I think it's about time we start adding some videos explaining the purpose and the reason and all of that behind what we have going on. And word on the street, there's a interest in me doing a documentary. So about my life. So we'll see. Yeah. So all that being said, my name is Jaguar Wright. Salute to my lead producer, Wolfgang Amadeus, over there at Set in the West, and to Auntie Leah, to Archangel Michael, to all of our moderators. We don't have a lot over here anymore, but and salute to our moderator, Kat, over there. She's moderator for us over on Kick. Yeah. Yeah, salute. And thank you to everybody who showed up today. And thank you for the likes. Replay gang, get us to 1,000. And yeah, I just wanted to tap in. It's been a minute since we've had one of my little down the rabbit hole we go. And I'm not talking about you, Ling Ling, with your latently racist ass cosplaying as a black person until you got busted for being the counterfeit Mexican that you are. And that's why I call you Ling Ling. One good turn deserves another. What happened? Okay, Auntie Leah is live. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to pop over there, I guess, in a second. And yeah, we'll see you all soon. Peace. Peace be still. These people are weird. They about as weird as this mole.